60 minutes overtime.
Hello.
Hello.
How may I help you guys?
We are here to get some help.
Get some help? Okay.
So we're gonna come on in here, and if you just wanna have a seat like here and here, and then, yes. So I guess today, I kind of wanna like find out how things have been going since you were here. It was about 6 weeks ago.
So things, I think they've improved some. Abby is able to verbalize how she is feeling about the situation with her friend and how, you know, it made her feel. We're so excited that her friend has returned to school.
Oh, good. And I remember, like, you know, like, it sounds like you and Haley had worked out, like, just some communication, like, how are you feeling? Thumbs up, sideways, all of that stuff. Are you guys still using that? Or are you using other techniques? Or, oh, is that something you need to continue to work on? Huh? Somebody's not following it? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay,
She
Mom.
doesn't like me asking a lot of questions. I'm trying to not ask her a lot of questions about, you know, back-to-back rapid fire, like, how you doing? What you feeling? What you're thinking? So it's work for me too.
Okay. Do you feel like when you come home, Mom has like a whole list of questions? And have you figured out a way to like give Mom that look like, how about one question, Mom?
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of see how that goes?
I just walk into my room.
Oh. Do you at least answer one of the questions?
If she says, "How was your day at school?" I'll say, "Good," and then I go to my room.
Okay, okay. Can you catch yourself when you're like, oh, I just asked 10 questions?
Yes, I will see when she walks away that I made a mistake and I try to dial it back in
Okay.
and give her that moment and that space.
Okay, it is hard.
Yes.
I mean, I'm one that I ask a lot of questions, so sometimes I have to look at my kids like, oh shoot, I went too far. What about like as far as your mood, has that changed? Like have you noticed any changes in your mood?
It got a little better.
Okay.
It did. It definitely, after being here, I know that was a really rough time.
I thought
yeah.
you were talking about. Yeah.
Like
Your mood has gotten better since you were here.
not
Okay.
your mood when I ask
Okay.
questions.
I hear you're in track, right? So you're getting some physical activity. You and Mom are working on like just some communication things. Are there other things you're doing that you're like, that has helped my mood? Even like sunlight and stuff like that. Have you noticed things you're doing that make your mood feel better?
Yes, I'm actually in a group called the Rose Group at my school.
Oh, what is that about?
It's about girls who like, it's an all girls group who go through things and like we all are like friends and we're all in one group. We just talk about stuff. We actually have an event coming up tomorrow.
Oh.
We're going to be cleaning up Sherman Park Center, Sherman Boulevard,
Okay.
all that. And we also just won an internship from the Green Bay Packers.
Awesome. Okay, so like maybe things were like here when you came in March, and slowly you're like, yeah, things are going better. What about like, okay, so Mom's checking in with you, kind of like, how are you doing? What about like safety? Where are you guys at with safety? Like, do you feel like, okay, if she weren't feeling safe, she would let me know? Do you notice things that you're like, oh, I'm just kind of feeling like we have to have a talk or something like that? Like, where are you guys at with that?
Yeah, we have our safety plan that they gave us
Okay.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And we reviewed it when we got home.
Okay.
And she is really close with my mother and father. Really
Okay.
close with my mother, her grandmother.
Okay.
So she will say, like, I need to go to Granny's house, or I want to talk to Granny. And that's her safe, you know,
Okay.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she needs to retreat.
Okay.
And we came up with that with our safety plan, right? Remember we wrote that all
When you
out.
guys sat down
Yep.
and like after the assessment, and
Yes.
then you sat down and kind of like, okay, who are your support systems? What are your coping strategies? What are some of your coping strategies?
Like to calm down.
What?
To calm down? Or?
Yep, to calm down, like, or if you're feeling really sad, or if you need to be safe. Is there something, you know, like, what is that? Like, I think that there's a few different coping strategies. What do you like to use?
So me and Miss Haley, we made a little game.
Okay.
So it's called 5 Senses.
Okay.
So you pick 5 things to hear, 4 things to taste, I think, 3 things to smell. No, wait, no. 3 things to hear, 2 things to smell, and 1 thing to taste.
Okay. And are you able to tell your brain that, like, when you're starting to, I don't know, feel sad, or if you're starting to get really irritated because mom's asking a lot of questions, are you able to be like, okay, but wait, we got to play the Haley game, okay, yes, I can do this. Okay. And then what are some of your warning signs that, like, if you're starting to feel really sad, or you're starting to feel maybe unsafe, what are some of the things that you notice that your body does? Or like mom would be like, I've noticed this and this and this, and those seem to be the warning signs, so I need to check in.
Well, some of the warning signs is like, I just stay in my room, my door closed most of the time. So, like, if I hear her really loud feet, walking through the hallway, I know, and if she, like, hears a whole bunch of noise going on in my room, like stuff being thrown around.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yes, I will know. She'll come real fast.
Okay, so some of your warning signs are you throw things, and maybe you're in your room with the door closed, not really spending time with family. Are there other things, like, do you notice that, like, my sleep is off, I'm really irritable, I don't really do my homework, you know, like some of that stuff? Oh.
Yes, it's definitely really pulled back from the rest of our family, door closed, really muted in either body language or verbal communication.
Okay. And I know, like, when you came in, that there was an incident that had happened the night before that had you really stressed and had you really feeling alone and, like, not wanting to tell mom, but then you were worried, and that had to have been a really icky feeling for you. And then you came in and you guys talked about it and kind of came up with some contracts and stuff like that. Has that helped, like, your communication, like, with one another, like, if something's going on? Because, you know, you're 11, we don't expect you to be perfect, right?
I notice when her mood changes, she kind of retreats, and if I push too hard, then it just kind of collapsed down.
Okay.
So I know that's something that we can both work on, meeting each other in the middle.
Okay.
Even when we may feel like we're really, really far apart. Is that something that you agree with? So we can work towards maybe having a better understanding of each other's intentions.
Yeah.
I can work on that and make sure that I'm communicating my intentions with Abby directly and clearly for the reason why I may ask questions or say, hey, let's sit down and talk. So
Okay.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have some ways to go.
And with the teen, you know, you'll get it figured out, and then you'll start over. Okay. Because, like, sometimes as a parent, we want them to go to us as a parent, but then we're like, oh my gosh, if they have an adult that they can talk to, I would rather them talk to an adult, because I know that when kids have adult issues that are in their head, it just, and then you become more depressed.
And that's kind of what we talked about, why we were coming here initially, is because I said this is an adult thing. And mom, even though mom is an adult, I don't have all the resources to help guide you through all of that had happened.
Yeah.
So we came here to get that help for both of us, for you to get the help from someone to talk through that, and then for me to be able to have the tools to help as well.
What was the most helpful thing when you were here?
It was helpful to have a plan.
Okay.
To really sit down and talk about what happened, how we felt in the moment, and then what we were going to do in the future.
Okay.
For both of us, not just for me, but specifically for Abby as well.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up as well, to make sure
Okay.
that we had those ongoing
Okay.
resources.
Okay. What was most helpful for you? Because I know that you were really sad and that there was a lot going on. What was most helpful for you when you came in last month?
Well, they had took out a box. It was like a green bin, and it was a whole bunch of fidgets.
The fidgets?
Yeah, that box.
This box was helpful? Okay. And what was helpful about this? Did it make it easier for you to talk? Like you could.
I was using this one.
Oh. Okay. Do you have fidgets at home?
You have those poppet things.
Oh yeah, I got poppets.
Yeah, you have poppets.
But you're like, I'd like something like that, huh? Because sometimes, hey, you know what? Sometimes when you're talking about hard stuff, it's kind of nice to just kind of have something to fidget with and stuff like that. What else was helpful when you came here?
The way that they was talking to me, that was helpful. They wasn't like just trying to get to the point. They was trying to like see how I was doing before. Like they wasn't just trying to get information.
Okay. So at least you felt comfortable when you came here. Like your physical needs were taken care of.
Yeah.
And then they weren't scary to talk to or anything like that. And you came up with a plan. And I mean, okay. Anything else that was helpful? Did you find the safety plan helpful? Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, I think like you said, like sometimes you come in and feelings are really high, and you're kind of like, I don't really know what to do with it. And whoa, wait, there was a lot that happened last night, and I have a lot of feelings, but I need to get my daughter some help.
Yes.
And where do I start? And how do I navigate this mental health web and all of that?
It was definitely a safe haven for both of us. We talked about it on the way home afterwards, that having the therapist and the social worker in here, you know, they made us feel both really comfortable to just
good.
freely talk without feeling like anything was wrong, right? Like we couldn't say anything wrong. I know they said like, this is a safe space, and they went through their questions, but then said, okay, let's talk through it.
And sometimes, especially when emotions are really high on both sides, that talking with a neutral person just kind of gives us some clarity. I mean, because that had to have been very scary for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's really good that you can have that support system.
Yes.
And that, you know, like if you guys are in crisis, you can always come back here too. You know, like, so it's not like, you had your crisis this year, sorry, you can't use it again. I mean, that's what we're here for, is like families that if something happens and like all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what to do, or you're like, I need to talk to somebody, my emotions are really, really strong right now, and you know, like maybe it's after school and like Haley isn't available, that, you know, this is another option.